Entrepreneuse Channel TV, creating a platform of expression for every woman.
We'll skip the testimonials and just go to the last presentation because Nice is not here, so we'll just skip this presentation and go to the last presentation, which is failing forward in entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is about failing. That's my own definition of it. Dangote is still failing, even as we speak, but he's failing forward. And if you have this mentality and this orientation, then you'll be able to wade through the turbulence that it will present to you. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to the founder and convener, land of my birth, Mrs. OLUNEYE OLUWOLE, to give a presentation.
Thank you, Femi, once again. It's always a privilege to be with you, to share a common platform. Many years ago, we never knew that we would still be rocking it together at Federal Government College, Ogumosho, in the 80s. Thank you very much. And to all my lovely ladies, queens, who some of them I have recognized. Failing forward in entrepreneurship. My presentation today will be through this medium that I have come to appreciate as one of the most engaging mediums of communication. There is a man called Phil Schultz. He's a poet. Schultz is a poet who hadn't learned to read until he was about 11. But then he'd been, held back a grade and was a permanent member of what the other kids called the dummy class. Does that sound familiar to anyone? The dummy class, does that sound familiar to you? Okay, I need some feedback. Teachers just didn't know what to do with that kid, Phil Schultz, who turned out he was dyslexic at that time. When the teacher asked him that what he wanted to do with his life, and he said he wanted to be a writer, the teacher laughed. But he said, I wasn't insulted. I understood it was a funny thing to hear from someone who hated to read and couldn't write a simple English sentence. Lesson 1. You don't allow people to dictate your dreams to you. How far you can dream or how big you can dream. And never overlook your so-called disadvantages. Please give it up for Rita once again. These are all pointers to your greatness. You know, his punishment, Phil's punishment was, for being a dummy, was to be exiled to a shameful corner, you know, while the class was moving on. And that was exactly the kind of experience from which writers are made. So he was being sentenced to the right space to develop his skills, to develop his talent. You know, with the loneliness of having so little expected of him and the pain of having to be overlooked and forgotten, that was the time for him to put careful attention to his interior life. All a writer really needs, actually, you know, are the self-knowledge to decipher your feelings, the judgment to recognize the original ones, and the courage to make them public. So it's an open job for anybody, even dyslexics. So, you know, Schultz steamed ahead toward the one career for which others thought he was ill-suited. Poetry. What an irony. I'm going to charge you this evening. My story. I'm going somewhere. I love taking pictures. I love documenting every aspect of my life. The journey in my, you know, in pictures, family, business, travel, milestones, experiences, adventure. And I love writing and storytelling. For years, you know, I was perceived as an obnoxious person. Loved ones, you know, I'm always in their face, taking pictures. My friends who felt I was, you know, in their face too much. This passion of mine, you know, why are you taking so many pictures? Why? What do you need them for? You don't have to take all these pictures. But I wasn't deterred. You know, Femi knows me very well. He said, I have this, you know, my father and my mother, you know, are here, Alaji and Alaja, Aliu, you know, they know me. I grew up in their hands, you know, they know that she will not give up. Abi daddy and mommy, you know. I kept documenting my life's journey, and I kept doing it, what I loved, for decades, knowing that one day it would have an expression like today, that someday, somewhere, somehow, it would find an expression. And I kept asking myself, okay, so you have these tons of pictures, what next? So let's fast forward to 2019. At a time, the vision of the Entrepreneurship Support Organization that I, you know, started was transitioning from being analog to the digital space. I was in ALLIANCE FRANCAISE on the invite of Jumoke Olowoke. I remember very well. She had to drag me to, you know, attend that program because I was in Ibadan to just, you know, take a chill from the Lagos, you know, stress, and to attend a photo exhibition by Issa Abasi, Akpan, and there and then, the creative visual and the exploratory part of me that was buried years connected and came alive to find its expression. Now let's move on to, you know, where I'm going. Now, Schultz wrote about failure. Failure was his clay. Most of us don't embrace failure. We see it as a taboo. You know, Phil wrote a collection of poems about failure, about his dad, about his own personal failures, and he called it Failure. And this collection of poems won the Pulitzer Prize. You see how you can turn your failure to success. Failure is everywhere. If you look around you, it is everywhere. We have all failed at some point in our lives. Some of us have failed JAM before. We have failed school SAT. We have failed at everything you can ever imagine. And we felt like a failure. Agreed? I remember my first JAM, and I wrote it. My father, bless his memory, he wanted me to be an architect. He was a civil engineer, and you know, he had all the careers, you know, laid out for all of us without our, you know, contribution. I said, you will be an architect, you will be an engineer, you'll be an accountant, you'll be a lawyer. So for me, it was architecture. So, and I flunked JAM the first time, 100%. course, I wasn't going anywhere, you know. So every day that my parents' friends came to our house, they said, oh, that one, that failed, jump, she's upstairs, let me come up for you, you know. So we all know how it feels to be a failure, to be mocked for a failure, and even be disappointed within ourselves for being a failure and failing at something, some exam, some chore or anything. But we fail to realize, that's an oxymoron, you know, that failure actually, it is the platform, it is the ingredient, it is the recipe and the incubating environment for creativity, for success, for excellence, and for innovation. So let me break it down to you. You cannot succeed without earning a medal or two at failure. Let me share with you my medals at failure. You know, they're very numerous, I kid you not. But they were the building blocks, the platform, and the ingredients for what you see here today. Land of birth, Ibadan 360 degrees. Let me read some quotes from Thomas Edison, the inventor of power generation that our lives so depend on. He says, I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And our greatest weaknesses lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Thomas Edison, we all know him. I'm not going to go into that. So let me briefly go into the scenario of the era of recession globally in Nigeria, where people lost their jobs. 4 million workers were laid off during the recession. A single day, 70,000, and all of that. And in Nigeria, we're all witnesses to the recession and its effects and how it's affecting, and it has affected our lives. Now, the questions buzzing in our heads are numerous. Am I safe? Who can I trust? Is there anything I can do? And how, given that everything has happened, should I leave? Look, it no longer seems possible to avoid failing simply by being conscientious and working hard. Those formulas are not working. Those formulas are for our parents. They said, if you work hard and you are diligent, you will do this, you will do that. That is not going to work anymore. It can't work. We have got to look at failure differently. Failure, it says, is at worst a mixed blessing. It hurts. I kid you not. It hurts. But it can come in the form of learning, in the form of growth and wisdom. Yes, it hurts. I have not come here to tell you that it does it, because believe me, it hurts. J.K. Rowling, I'll tell you how she described her perfect storm of failure. A broken marriage, her disapproval from her parents, poverty that bordered on homelessness, that sent her back to her first vision and her first dream of writing, because she had nothing left at all. So failure stripped everything, in essential, she said. It taught me things about myself that I could not have learned in any other way. Apple founder Steve Jobs described 3 setbacks: dropping out of college, being fired from the company you found. How many of us have had that experience? You set up a company and they fired you from that company. Have you had that failure before? Oh, no. So you haven't earned the medal to be successful then. So you still come, you still have your own dose of failure. Don't wish it. I repeat, your own success. Okay. He also was being diagnosed with cancer that ultimately proved part to a better life. Each forced Steve Jobs to look back, step back, and gain perspective to see the long view of his life. I have told over and over again that's why I succeed. Said Michael Jordan, as did Oprah Winfrey, Walt Disney, Henry Ford, Winston Churchill. So when you look at the stories of great leaders, they almost had, major setbacks. And a setback in one area won't mean in your mind that you're a failure categorically. Failure, especially public failure, stirs some of the most potent social emotions we have. Humiliation, guilt, shame. Guilt, which occurs when you chalk up a failure to something you did, can be beneficial. Now, a perfect, amazing, and awesome story is that of the tiger. organizations in America, in world sports arena, globally, that he would never, ever come back. His failure was personified, a reference point for failure. That is an amazing story of failing forward. Let me share with you another story of someone who understood the practical value of failure. Paul McGreedy. He was a famed aeronautical engineer. I said was because he passed on in 2007. He understood the practical value of failure and very consciously built his success on it. He was vying for the Creamer Prize for the world's first human-powered airplane. And so he designed his airplane to crash well. To protect the pilot and be quickly repairable, so he would crash and learn again. But he not only expected to fail, he actually depended on failure as a necessary tool for success. Now I ask, who does that? I mean, in Nigeria, you know, you're planning to fail. Do you understand? But it worked because he won that prize. Failure has implications for our development. It can initiate a search for a meaning, a shift from pursuing the kinds of happiness that flare briefly to the kinds of happiness that endure. When you look at the tiger, he's calmer. He has a more perspective. He's not arrogant Tiger Woods. The field. He's much more refined. He's much more engaging. He's looking at living a legacy rather than perspective. You know, psychologists are important dimensions of life, achievement, community, spirituality, and legacy. When one dimension fails, which achievement for Tiger would build, you know, we lose achievement, but we are laid off, you know, we're left with the remaining three that get stronger, which is community, giving back, spirituality, and legacy, living a good legacy. Achievement is a big deal in our society now, disproportionately valued, like I told you. Everyone gets laid low by failure sometimes, however, the people need back, all of that. He had, you know, he even caught somewhere, you know, he was in that state, you know, he was in another state, you know, that was how bad, you know, so he could have gone that route. But what separates these two routes of one person deeper into merge makes another stronger. You know, there is an enthusiasm and persistence in the fight and profit from it. So how can we learn? That's where we're going. How can we learn to fail better or to fail forward? Failing better or failing forward, according to psychologists, boils down to three things. One, controlling your emotions, adjusting your thinking. You have to adjust your thinking, and recalibrating your beliefs about yourself and what you can do in the world. Life, entrepreneurship, business is like a game of chess. And we all know that chess is a game of failure. Some may be asking, how much failure is too much? My answer is Tiger Woods. Is my answer. Failure can't help us if we're oblivious to it. Despite our best intentions, our mightiest resolve, we find ourselves endlessly repeating earlier failures. But the great payoff in failing is to give us another chance. Again, I refer you to the time of our time. And have a sense of humor. They know that me, I can come back, you know, and all of that. After all, they say an makes for an entertaining story tomorrow. Today, we're celebrating the best of everything: culture, entrepreneurship, leadership, tourism, a journey that was not a hunky-dory, you know, journey of 20 years. Please imagine the movies that will be churned out of Hollywood. And of course, Nollywood, you know, they have these very funny, you know, titles like Beyonce, Obama, you know. Nollywood, I'm like serious? You don't have any other title? Can you imagine the books that will come from this classical failure story that will become bestseller number one? And the land of my birth, Ibadan, is where I pause to inform you to join the Land of My Birth Development Initiative Network of Mentors, Youth Entrepreneurs and Global Partnerships. The call to join will be unveiled in the course of the program. Now you have to cultivate optimism, which is also important. Now you ask yourself, another thing, number 4 is ask not what the world can do for you. Now, getting fired and left without service or healthcare or whatever is rough. But for some, it is an unexpected message. Not that I'm free from my 9 to 5. You know, you are fired. Some can go to their closet and cry. And cry. I ask you, that cry, what will it do for you? From giving you a headache, bulgy eyes, red eyes, hypertension, then after all of that, then you now come back to understand that there's a message, there's something. You know, now that you are free to do something more meaningful with your life, like volunteering. You know, we don't have that much here, but I can see, give it up for the fame, there are volunteers, please clap for them. Now, if you earn that money right away, you know, I love the spirit of the African youth, Nigerian youth, saying that you don't, it is not money first, they volunteer their time, their talent, their skills, because they know that some way, somehow, they can be of service to others. Now, another classical story of failure of somebody that got fired and didn't ask, you know, the world didn't come to an end, was Oprah Winfrey. The network said, you know what, your face is not sellable. We do not need your face for our network. So, the door. She would have ended up in drugs, prostitution, and all of that. Today, Oprah Winfrey is, you know, the story today, she's going to be the most powerful, influential female philosopher in the world. That is what it can do for you. Now, next is keep a journal. Document your story, your journey. Keep a journal, clear perspective, and your, you know, next line of action. Writing helps you create coherence, building your story. You know, I've had the opportunity to share, you know, with you today a lot of books of my life, which we're going to see in exhibition. Picture the no other than Dr. Tony Mario. Please give it up for Dr. Tony Mario. Serve with and Mike. The first was written by Professor Ayo through the support of my Professor Ayo Jebode. Now, the other thing is, don't blame yourself. Do not blame yourself. Self is corrosive. You know, it makes you more depressed. More depressed. And you act. Failure is an opportunity to change your core. You seize it.
Entrepreneurship Channel TV, Africa's first gender-based television service. Yes, at Entrepreneurship Channel TV, our primary responsibility is promoting women entrepreneurs in West African countries. We also support women's well-being, share women's knowledge on a variety of subjects and topics, passions and opinions. Entrepreneurship Channel TV is on Intelsat 20. Our satellite coverage is within Africa, Europe, Middle East, Asia, North and South America. Opportunities abound for women-owned micro to small businesses, corporate bodies and organizations, and also government parastatals. For inquiries and advert placements, contact 0705 5053 843. Entrepreneurship Channel TV, rewriting Africa's story through enterprise Amazons.
And right about now, I want to call on the Allied Daughters to come and give their performance. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Allied Daughters. I'd like to invite Mr. Oge Alakija. Nile Yoba Agba. Only Amofunyowo and the most senior Nigerian here seated, here present. We'd like to invite Baba to the high table. Please, let the ushers please lead Mr. Oge Alakija to the high table to do us the honor of presiding over the cutting of the lump cake. Oyo State Chairman, Association of Nigerian Authors, please come forward.
Quickly before we go into the exhibition is the grand finale. Please come in. Please move in.
Let's move that stuff.
Yeah. Let's just move behind. Yeah. Yes. No. Yes. No. Just take it. Please come in. Come in.
Come behind us here. Come behind us here. Let everybody. Nobody should follow that.
Once again, you are highly welcome to this French Cultural Center in Ibadan. This is the exhibition hall. There are many activities that we have done for 1 decade now. Paintings, visual arts, exhibitions, also trainings that we are. We Nigerian artists, no matter where they come from. With 2 weeks ago, we had a white artist. We also exhibit Yoruba culture, outside culture, and there are many other cultures. As you know, in Nigeria, we exhibit. We also give a platform to artists. So if you think that we should also give a platform to artists that you know, please come to us. We'll receive them warmly here. This is a place of culture. There are other ones in Ibadan. This is one of them. Thank you very much. I give the mic to now Neye. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming. Like I said, I want to welcome you to the very first photo exhibition tagged Land of My Birth, Ibadan 360. I will leave you with, you all have the program. What I have been able to do is to document my journey from my birth as a baby, growing into adulthood, which I call in the beginning, my beginning, to your beginning because it's a pointer. It helps you to know where you're going. It helps you to appreciate your past. It also helps you to appreciate people who have helped you, in your journey in life. So this is me. In the beginning, my marriage, been married, my first child, who is now a travel blogger. She's the owner of the Dare Experience. If you go on Instagram, and then in the beginning of my work as treating air travels with Mr. Tunde Odulade, what you'll see also. Oh yes, continuation. So this is us, the first baby, the second baby, the second baby, the third baby, and all of them all graduates now. The last one is a graduate. This page is just graduated. So if you look at the journey from me being a baby to now to where we are today, so I encourage us to please document our beginnings, our story. You never can tell what can come out of it. I will leave you to make up your minds. As we go along, you'll see adventure. Adventure is a very critical part of my life. I travel a lot because adventure is a form of therapy. See Paris and die, Ibadan finish so. If you don't travel, you don't see anything. We'll look at creativity, partnerships, please this way. Partnerships are very, very important in life. Partnerships, not just any kind of strategic partnerships. Who would have said that the little girl that was born in Ibadan, Catholic Hospital, Eleta, is now, hobnobbing with the likes of General Olusegun Obasanjo at the International Women Day 2003 with the Ambassador Sanders. And this was me, adventure. This is Lavini, a village outside of Paris, where I went on. This is the head of the Reporter, the aviation expert, and also research. You cannot do without research. As an entrepreneur, you must research your industries, you must research your competitors, you must research where we found intervention for agribusiness, for agricultural sector, which areas will go around, cocoa farmers, the industry, cocoa farms, where to test cocoa. This was African diet, understanding their challenges, logistics, understanding the different impediments to them, scaling, being subsistence farmers to that farmers like this. We want to see them like this. But this is where we are. But this is what we want them to be. Yes, this way. Here is this adventure. Yes, this was a fishing community at Ero. That is at the Bokoloki, that is outskirts of Abeokuta, on the way to Kapalado. This lady was here. I think she has left. We went assessing farms for rural women to be able to get interventions for them. See you. How are you? Part of my journey took me through to meeting the Oni of Ife, the current Oni of Ife, where we led a set of interns from 5 universities that cut across the US, Canada, Nigeria, Covenant University, and also University of Covenant University, and a feature with the Oni of Ife. We're moving to the next one of adventure. This is where I am at my most. My best is in adventure for the a young startup creative person called Yvette Adai. She curated the first avant-garde hairstyle in Mississauga in Canada, and we were able to start a young graduate that followed her vision. Everybody, I need your attention. Everybody, I need your attention. I need everybody's attention. Hello, I need everybody's attention.
All right.
This particular exhibition is in the memory of this young man. Thank you. I need a lot of young people on my journey, and to give them a platform to have an expression. This guy, Okubaye, what's his name? Adiola Okubaye. He was an IT expert, but he had gifts of, literary gifts, and very highly cerebral, and he used his talents at every given moment. He was the one of the discussion book reviewer for Jamiu Abiola, because we curate book reading sessions. He's also worked on a project with Abiola. He was killed by armed robbers in February. They came to his house and they killed him at the age of 33 this February. This is in the honor of Adiola Okubaye, who has gone to be with the Lord, because while he was dying, he was speaking in tongues. He used his talent, he used his time for you and for everybody. I needed to showcase this to let you know that nobody knows tomorrow, nobody knows what will be said after us. This is Diola doing what he knew to do best. This is Diola, and this is Diola talking about a book by Jamiu Abiola. Thank you. This is resilience. An entrepreneur must be resilient. You must weather all challenges. Nothing good comes on a platter of gold. This is us going through thick forests, thick bushes, looking for farmlands to help female farmers, and then our project being God's Star, still in memory of Adiola for his talent. This is what he knew how to do best. He died at the prime age of 33, and he didn't die of any illness. He died because armed robbers came to his house to kill him. We also look at creativity here. Like I said, these are the hairstyles curated by Ife Ajayi that was displayed, the best of Africa, the best coming out of Africa in terms of creativity. And also adventure. Please come over. Okay, I think we covered all. And then here, you can have a view of my. Networking. Please, I want to emphasize the need for understand the person's vision, and then from there they get an interest in you. So this is networking at the house, at the private residence of the Consul General, for the U.S. Consul General John Bray. This was at the French delegation. They led the delegation of French business people to Nigeria, and were part of that event. Networking internationally. Networking. This is with the Deputy British High Commissioner. This is the current Deputy British High Commissioner, Laura Brockfield. We were at the British Council for a pitch day, and of course with the Woods exhibition. I can't thank this guy enough. Please come. Chopin has been wonderful. These are some of the young people that I work with. People always wonder, I talk like the young ones. It's because my space, my life, I spend it with them, and they inspire me. And I believe that we're going far. He's a highly cerebral person, so is everyone that I have met. Gazier, where are you, Gazier? Gazier? Oh, we met virtually, and then we've done so many great things, together. And here we are, long. Who knew at that time that this was going to happen? Did you know? He didn't know. He studied in South Africa. He's full of ideas. I tell you that he owes me 3 books. How many books? 3 books. He owes me 3 books. So we're working together to get his 3 books out. Yene, Omo, all these young people that you see today, it's because of the leverage and the partnership, collaboration, networking that we have done. So what you're going to take from here, please take time to study and begin to think of the legacy that you are leaving. And we're open to partnerships, we're open to collaboration. Land of My Birth is a global global platform where we are signing on Africa's youth to disrupt the African continent in every of your chosen industry, to prove to the world that Africa is the next continent in the world. So, without further ado, we'd like to give out the awards first to Nicholas. Okay, to Alliance Francaise. Can Sunday Ubede, where is he?
Sunday.
Please get Sunday to get ready to open the portal. We have something we're unveiling. We have 3 on the same platform. With this. There is no time that I've got. Iconic medical practitioner, artist, author, film writer, social entrepreneur, activist. We're waiting for you to be the president of the country.
You've been there for a long time. Can I take it now?
Yes, please. On behalf of Land of My Birth, we want to thank you, sir. This is in recognition of your contribution to the development of education and leadership and support towards the success of this program. Thank you very much. Wow. Please, let's give this gentleman a resounding round of applause. It's too small. Thank you. Thank you. This is in recognition of your exemplary leadership and tremendous support towards the success. Without him, without his support and his team, we wouldn't be where we are today. This is partnership, this is collaboration at its excellence. Thank you very much. Thank you. And also to Alliance Francaise, that's a double whammy. To Alliance Francaise, yeah, in recognition of your support and for the development of culture, arts. Please, Alliance Francaise, guys, please join in. Join in. Let me speak French. Vous parlez français? Okay, thank you. Next person. He makes me so special. You know, when somebody says, when somebody has tall and huge like this, says that I was his senior, he makes me want to, you know, cry and say, who am I? Who are me? Thank you for your support. Thank you. Are we good? Thank you. Okay. Mr. Tunde Odunlade.
You are dancing bata.
Okay, this is a recognition of your contribution to the development of culture and arts and your support. He hosted us in his house yesterday.
Wow.
Oh, it was awesome.
Wow.
How many of us were there? Awesome. Thank you. Yes, and we sang the song Vestak 77.
Vestak
77.
77 is here. Vestak 77. 77 is here.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So I dedicate this to all the creative people. Wow. Thank you.
Now we give it back to please come forward. Yes, this is a relationship of over 40 years. Over 40 years. Thank you.
I love this book. I want to be buying
We are going to receive for Indigo before we call on Sunday. Quickly, that way we open it. We're giving to Indigo. Please, can you pass it on to Mr. Anthony of Indigo? They were fantastic. Without them supporting us in kind, we will not be where we are today. Thank you. Okay, a handshake on behalf of the Indigo. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'll call on Sunday, brother. And please listen. We're opening a first of its kind that you need to listen to. Afri movie, Afri music, land of my birth. These are platforms you need to jump on immediately and begin to ask people to sign up. This guy talks in code, land code. You know, he's a kid. Okay, over to you. Good evening.
Use the modern mic.
This one.
I'm not going to Sunday time. Some are kind of time. I think I met Bobby. It's not up to 4 weeks now that I met her. I actually stay in Abuja. So any of our businesses, I flew in from Abuja and go back at times that same day. Taking risk and all of that because I saw what she was doing when she shared the idea with me. And I felt that there is need for us to actually have a platform that can actually use some of all these things online. Now in 2007, I was 23 years old when I lost 18 million naira. Now I lost that money not because I don't know what to do with it. I lost the money because I squandered it. I'm not a Yahoo boy, but I'm an abstract beginner. I was the first set of people that actually started an online radio here in Nigeria. I was also one of the first set of people that actually, I wish Nice was here. There's one of the songs that I actually made money for, giving it to Benson as scholars too. You know, and there are a lot of opportunities. Now when I was coming from the Lagos mainland, I booked a taxi fare to bring me down here, all the way from Lagos mainland to Ibadan. Then the price on the app was telling me 9,100 naira. So between Bega to Redeem, we spent 3 hours. And when we got to Ring Road, I asked the taxi fireman to stop the app so that I can fly, I can drive on bike, so that I can meet up. When he calculated the price, he said my price is 32,600 naira. You know, I smiled and I transferred the money to him. But here's the question. 5 years ago, just imagine me entering a commercial bus and they were hold up. And the driver is telling me, bros, you go add money. We go fight. Now, what is it about? Now, that is one of the ideas that I got to share with us. Now, African Hub have set up 4 major platforms that can allow young entrepreneurs to acquire the necessary skills they need to acquire in digital world. And one of the websites is afrisoft.com. I don't like to just write it down. Afrisoft.
Spell it, please.
A-F-R-I, then soft, S-U-B. Soft. Afrisoft.com. Now, what does Afrisoft.com do? It's simple. Now, there are a lot of people that want to have a blog of your own, an e-commerce site, a social site, a church website, a social dating website. Now, all what you need to do to have this kind of site come up is just a C panel. Yeah. So all you need to do to have this site is just have a C panel. Now, the truth is this, we're going to give the first 50 people a chance. While personally, I'll design anything you want. Now, the truth is this, there are over millions of site scripts in the world now. There's no programmer that design any website from scratch. Okay? So, afrihub.com will enable you to have your own C panel, whereby you can have AfriSoft, we're able to have your own C panel, and then you enjoy any kind of website you want to do. Now, there's another site, I don't know, not most of us have heard of Netflix.
Netflix.
Yes. Now, we have a site called afrimovie.com.
Afrimovie.com.
colourful.com is like more of a SoundCloud website, whereby if you are a musician, you want your song now. The challenge we have in Nigeria is that most of
the Afri music is Afri M-U-U-V-I-E. Music. Yes. Okay.
Afri M-U-S-I-I-C.
Yes.
Then the movie is M-O-O-V-I-E. Afri movie.
Yes.
Now
the music again, please.
M-U-S-I-I-C.
We actually launched this before today.
Sign up as members. Please talk about the website.
And there is this other one that we like everyone of us to actually take part of it. It's called Copper Coffee, not Copper. CORPERHUB, coppercoffee.com.